Welcome to the Butcher's Boat Podcast, where the hunt meets the harvest. I'm your host, Jake Dilger, and I'm excited to share my passion for hunting and butchering with you. With 12 years of experience in the field and in the shop, I have learned a thing or two about what it takes to be successful in both pursuits. On this podcast, we'll dive into the grit of hunting, from scouting, tracking, to shot placement and recovery. We'll also explore the art of game processing, from field dressing to the final cuts, and everything in between. But it's not just about the technical stuff. We're also here to share stories of adventure from hunting trips, as well as my friends and expert guests from the industry. We'll talk about gear, strategy, and we'll talk about lessons learned along the way. Whether you're a seasoned hunter or just starting out, whether you're a butcher or outdoorsman, or someone who just enjoys a good steak, I hope you'll join me on this journey, and we'll explore the intersection of wildlife management, sustainable hunting practices, and the art of transforming wild game into delicious meals. So tune in, subscribe, and let's get started on this adventure together. I'm excited to share my knowledge, experience, and passion with you, and I look forward to hearing from you too. Let's get into it. With me today is Ian Branson Medeiros. We are going to be talking today about new gear for either hunting or butchering. Also, we can later on cover less popular cuts that people don't really know about that are actually quite pleasant, be it through preparation or just little known fact that it's not popular for mainstream grocery stores or outlets,
or just being called different too.
That's true. Depending on your locality, what it might be called is going to vary greatly depending on who's cutting up the animal and what style of butchering they were taught to.
I remember when I went to the last beef I had cut up, I took to Ben's, and I wanted picanha steaks, which is, I think, pretty popular now. We're probably not a lot of listeners are going to not know what that is. But I told Ben I wanted that, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
Really?
And I was like, picanha steaks? I was like, it's a cap.
Top sirloin.
He's like, oh, the sirloin cap.
Sirloin cap.
And I was like, that. He's like, how do you want to cut? He's like, you want it whole? I was like, you can leave it whole. I'm just going to take it home and cut it.
It's kind of like a tri-tip.
2.5 inch slices, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like a UFO
I think it's just a flat tri-tip
when they're whole. Yeah,
not as plump.
Obviously, cut into like 2 inch, 2.5 inch like slices, and then the traditional way is to like fold them on themselves and skewer them. Yeah, but it doesn't matter how you cook them. You can cook them long. You just don't have to cook them as long.
Yeah.
That's one that's like, you could say you could go somewhere and see sirloin cap and never know that it's picanha steak.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the thing. So picanha is going to be, I believe, the Brazilian reference to it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you cut it, and that's as a roast, is the way I've been taught. But if you cut it into individual steaks, you can refer to those as culottes, which is, I believe, French.
That's right.
So yeah, and those can be skewered easily, roasted on a spit.
And like in those countries,
I think that would be something from Portugal as well.
They love it.
I don't know what the Portuguese term for that would be.
I don't.
Yeah, but I always label it as sirloin roast, just because it's a sirloin cap, and I don't have a particular label for picanha.
I would say 99% of American consumers would walk in, see a sirloin cap, and have no idea what it is.
Definitely.
You would have to label it picanha steaks or roast for picanha roast or something.
Yeah,
just because
it's only a roast until you cut it.
And it's the online influence of, like, nowadays everyone knows about all this stuff because of social media platforms.
Yeah,
and
you see it on an Instagram reel with a recipe.
Yeah,
it looks really good.
Yeah,
you kind of want to find it,
and it
try it.
Became popular as picanha steak. So
similar roadmap as like a beef tomahawk.
That's right.
Because it's part of something else, just with a slight variation for visual effect. Really,
a lot of
different presentation quality.
A lot of problems with that when someone goes to give cutting instructions. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You want your short ribs. Yeah, you want your short ribs and your tomahawks.
Make this whole beef.
That's where the art of it really comes in, because it's like, you would think it's just a cut and dry, no pun intended, cut and dry operation, but it's not. It's layers of, if you use this, you're not getting this. If you use this, you're not getting this.
Right. And I feel like it's similar then I've also had cutting instructions where people, they see a word on the sheet, they don't know what it is, so they just want to grind it. And I'm talking things like skirt steak, which is like, why would you want to grind it unless it's been aged for 21 plus days and it's all shriveled up and you really don't have much to work with anymore.
Yeah. No, I know. That's
or hanging tender.
$14 a pound now for
at least
skirt steak. So
yeah, and you got perfect carne asada.
Yeah. Yeah, no, skirt steak, flank steak, I don't care. Give me both. Give me either one.
Yeah,
I love them.
I mean, you got outside skirt, inside skirt. Also, another piece that kind of gets lost in the mix because it's right at that 12-13, gets cut through, and then if it's not pulled, it just ends up in your grind.
What's the best skirt? What's like
outside skirt, in my opinion,
industry standard supposed to be the best?
That's what the most per pound is typically used for restaurant wholesale for making like tacos, kind of stuff. Super tender, takes a marinade well, sears really quickly. It's thinner, has a good chance of marbling. It's basically just the diaphragm muscle that seals off the thoracic cavity from the guts, the rest of the hindquarter.
Yeah, teriyaki marinated skirt steak's hard to beat. Really anything. Chimichurri skirt steak, teriyaki skirt steak.
I mean, even like a Hawaiian almost with that pineapple, spicy pineapple.
Something about skirt steak takes on sweet well.
Well, and these things citrus because the acids help tenderize and break down. But it also just holds a really nice flavor.
Yeah, that's like. I mean, I think that the secret to like a good venison jerky marinade is like a acidic soda. Yeah. Like I think something super acidic, or like you said, like orange juice, pineapple juice, something that's going to burn that meat a little bit and start to break it down.
Well, I think once the enzymes start to break it down a little bit like that, it almost allows the meat to hold more flavor.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And there's hardly any fat in the stuff we're making jerky out of, so it's hard to penetrate flavor, though. Nuts. While we're on deer, I know we're hopping back and forth on species. Backstrap Wellington is so missed, and I don't know.
I think
how
it's so difficult to pull off.
You would think that, right? So like the first time I made it, I'm like, I'm gonna make this fancy ass dish that I think is gonna be like, it's gonna be hard to make. I understand that, but I'm going into it knowing like I'm gonna figure out how to make this because I love it. Right? I've had beef Wellington before, dude. First time I made it, nailed it. Second time I made it, nailed it. It's as simple as dehydrating your mushrooms in a pan with some salt and pepper, so just cooking them down, getting some prosciutto, searing your backstrap, however big of a piece you want of backstrap, literally just as hot as the pan will go, sear it on 4 sides, coat it in mustard, and then on your clear wrap, you just have prosciutto, and then your cooked down mushrooms on the prosciutto. You just wrap that, give it a good twist so that it kind of makes like a tube, you know what I mean? And then so what you're looking at is basically just prosciutto, the next layer is mushroom, the next layer is pop that sucker in the fridge, let it chill and harden a little bit, pull it out, wrap it in some sort, whatever your favorite like pastry option would be. I think we use puff pastry sheets and egg wash oven. 145-ish, pull it out, let it rest. You can't go wrong. It's like you can't mess it up. And I think all the salt in the prosciutto just kills the gaminess because you can take like a rutting buck, and if you make it into Wellington, it's almost besides maybe fat content, which filet is not going to have a lot of fat content anyway. Right. It's almost unrecognizable deer. It could be beef or it could be like elk or something. You know what I mean? You're not going to taste any of the gaminess.
And if you're being in the oven, you have that delicate control. You're not going to try it out as long as you pay attention. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And like, even stick a meter in that thing if you're worried about it, or stick a probe in it if you're worried about it. 145. But the way I do it is just as soon as that crust is gold, assuming that your backstrap's already seared, that thing is coming out perfectly red. Like,
you bring up an interesting point because you're altering the flavor. I believe said, like a rutting buck. A lot of people say that mule deer is going to be more gamey than say blacktail. That might be a good cheat code to help with that gamey flavor.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's this. I think it's like one Meat Eater episode away from being so popular. Definitely. It's just like nobody. It just hasn't hit the market yet, right? Like it hasn't hit a popular Facebook page, or it hasn't hit one of these popular YouTube influencers that are doing wild game preparations.
Maybe we'll have to do it then.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's when just foolproof.
Are you doing any kind of breading on the outside too? Because I know like traditional beef Wellington, there's like a pastry dough on the outside that you encase and bake the whole thing.
That's the puff pastry wrap I do. So I do puff pastry sheets, and what they
so it's pretty it's already?
Yeah,
kind of like
canned stuff.
What's the equivalent of like a seaweed wrap and sushi, kind of like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Sheet like that.
Exactly, and it's. I think we even get the croissant ones because I believe it comes scored to pull apart.
Could you use the Pillsbury Doughboy?
Oh, for sure.
Crack that can.
100%.
Your backstrap.
That's what I use, the canned one.
Oh, hell yeah.
The canned croissant. You just add a little flour and roll it out to make it bigger because that can's only going to come in like an 8x9 kind of shape as it unrolls.
Do something to the similar effect of making your own puff pastry bread, but with like a garlic butter.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
I think I would prefer that over the mushroom.
That you don't like mushroom, which I forgot about that. The mushroom disappears almost. I would not say you get because it's finely chopped. I mean, I get them really finely chopped to where it's almost like a paste when they're coming out. Yeah, exactly. And it's not like chunks of mushroom.
Well, that would help me out.
Yeah, I think I think
mostly a texture.
The texture thing is no.
Like,
it's so fine. No. Yeah, no. I went the way the recipe I use is the Gordon Ramsay recipe, and he literally pops a can of pre-made pastry.
Doughboy.
Yeah, exactly. Might as well be Pillsbury Doughboy.
Well, it sounds like we might have to have an episode on our needs here. We might have to make that.
Yeah, you're not gonna have to talk me into that.
Similar effect off of the venison. I feel like a lot of people don't save the sirloin off of their deer.
100%. Just hard to get that cut right. I mean, I think a lot of people go to pull that. People that are doing it at home, they go to pull that hindquarter off of the. They go to pull the femur bone off of the pelvis and they go straight through half the sirloin. Because it's hard to get, I mean, unless you kind of know your angles in there, it's kind of hard to get around and pop that thing out whole with the hindquarter.
That's true, I don't think about it because usually I'm just taking that whole ball and socket off in the field if I'm going to pack it out anyway. Because I like to keep those whole legs intact to separate rounds later for jerky meat. So I usually just dislocate it at the hip and then I have this whole in sirloin roast with the pelvis still in it.
Yeah.
Then I'll remove it just like a beef, scalping out that concave bone. And then just cutting steaks and then removing any silver skin that I see along the way.
You do sirloin steaks with your deer?
No, I just cook the whole sirloin whole. And then slice after, like kind of like a tri-tip.
Like a roast.
Yep.
Oven, smoker, both.
Either.
Yeah. You ever?
Crock pot and make shredded venison.
Have you ever messed around with neck?
No. Typically, I would just make stew meat out of the neck or grind.
Me too. I know some old timers that swear by neck roast, venison neck roast.
For like crock pot.
Yeah. Get that thing to shred. Yeah.
Makes sense. It's got perfect broth potential with that neck bone.
Yeah,
I think I'd almost prefer running it down like parallel to the bone. Vertebrae on a bandsaw, opening it up and letting more of that water penetrate the inside of the bone to give more broth.
That's what I would want to do. I mean, you get spinal cord in there too, right? You'd want to remove.
Yeah,
ideally.
But also, like, I don't know. Anytime you deal with those smooth bones and it's not open to where it's porous, I feel like you don't get adequate.
It's encapsulated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not the same. Like opening it up and allowing that liquid to flow is, I feel like, very important to making it broth. Yeah, but I've only had beef Wellington a few different times. Carmen made it very delicious. the other thing that my wife makes, and she did one time, was have you ever done a braided pork loin?
No.
Super intricate, hard to do, honestly.
Sounds like
I've done it a couple times, but she's done it more. She's very good at it. But I feel like that would be really good if you shot like a pig anywhere in like the 100 to 150 pound range, because the whole loin's just big enough. But yeah, you're making these parallel incisions, and then you braid this whole loin together. And so another great showpiece for a holiday, like a Wellington would be, or like a rib roast, or a rack of lamb, or rack of venison. The same deal. The only thing braiding it makes it more difficult to get a good crust on the outside.
That's what I would almost, like, could you season it before you braid it? So you're braiding in some of that.
Oh, most definitely.
That seasoning, you know what I mean? You're getting it on the inside layers of that braid.
Yeah, but then if you sear the outside, you just have different contact points that are not making it to the grill unless you press. You gotta be very gentle with press to not run out any of the excess juice. But at the same time, you could probably air fry it really well if you had one big enough, like a toaster oven version of an air fryer. But anyways, yeah, because I like, anytime I'm doing a pork roast, I like to have the outside nice and crispy, but the inside not dry. And of course, you gotta mind your trichinosis for wild pork. Yeah, don't want to fall for that trap.
I think I put so much Sweet Baby Ray's on it, it might kill the trick.
That and this hot sauce with sriracha in your barbecue.
Yeah, guys, public service announcement. Mexico Lindo hot sauce makes a fantastic salsa de chile habanero.
Very dark.
Very
Almost
dark.
Looks like a chipotle.
Very dangerous. Very dangerous. We won't get in.
The red and green safe for use.
The red and green. They make like an orange colored one.
But
That's
the black label,
amazing.
It's restricted.
Restricted. We're not going to get into graphic details here, but you don't want to be on the other side of this stuff. So
I'd only recommend if you had a contracting license in plumbing.
it actually says XX extra hot. So it's 3 X's in front. It's a 3X extra hot. Delicious. Let me tell you, dangerous unit. You could eat a lot of it. It's really, really good, but don't. You'll pay for it later. But the Mexico Lindo, we're really good topic here. The Mexico Lindo habanero orange flavored stuff. Perfection. Perfect. And cheap. Hot sauces are grossly overpriced. I'm talking $10, $12 a bottle for some of these hot sauces. A bottle of this stuff's like $1.99. It's absurd. Yeah. That's value.
Circling back, you got a couple lambs you gotta slaughter.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with them, dude.
What are you gonna do cut-wise?
So I like ground lamb a lot, like lamb burgers a lot, and having 2 young kids, I know my wife and my kids will eat it. But being that they're young and they're dorpers, I'm probably going to like mess around with some heritage stuff. So
define heritage.
Yeah, good question. Rack of lamb, whole leg, crown lamb roast, or where they crown lamb roast, maybe for a holiday thing. Loin chops, yeah.
I'd say maybe shoulder, like a cushion roast.
There you
tie
go.
It up into a nice little looks like a pin cushion. Other than that, I'd say all your bases are covered there. Maybe stew meat, some of the neck or some of the sirloin.
Then shanks.
And then I would, if you want shanks. If not, I'd grind them.
Yeah.
Like you said, if you like ground lamb, I would just grind the rest.
That's the thing. You get all your cuts off lamb, you're gonna have no ground. You're gonna have no grind. There's just not.
Unless you do the shoulders.
Yeah. I don't know. Last time I got a lamb, it was a little older, and I ended up getting.
But also, with 3 lambs, that's 6 legs of lamb, like for full legs.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of legs.
Yeah, and I have a leg from the last lamb. I just don't know how to cook it, dude. It's just, I don't know. Just uneducated on cooking lamb, leg of lamb, any of that.
I would say it's not far off innocent. It's got more fat, so it's more fishy.
Hey, you'd smoke it or bake it or
either.
I would inject it, marinate
honestly,
it.
For you, I'd probably do it on a sangria pit. And you could inject it, marinate it with that Greek style marinade, and tie it up real tight.
Would you would you score it so the marinade can penetrate? Because there's so much.
Either that or you submerge it for, like I said, like a week. But it takes up a lot of that way.
And then, I mean, you're cooking a whole leg, right? So it's like,
you gotta plan ahead for people.
You're cooking for, what's that going to be on a Santa Maria pit? That thing's going to be on there in a couple hours, right?
Oh yeah.
And would it wrap in at any point?
I'd probably wrap to finish, just like a like you would kind of. But
and then
you don't have to get up to shredding.
That's my question was going to be. It's going to be a sliced product when we're done with it. We're not going to want it to be shredding unless we got some special recipe we're trying to hit.
That's another thing I haven't really messed with. But anytime I've eaten them, they've been really good. It's like a Euro beef and lamb sandwich.
Oh yeah,
those are always really good. That's like, I believe that's like a lamb rotated on a spit, like rotisserie, and sliced.
Yeah, that sounds. I would want some char on it because I don't. Yeah,
that would make it really good, or even if you used it for leftovers or sandwiches.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I mean, I think lollipop style lamb chops is one of my favorite things to eat off of a good lamb. Anything that's starting to get muttony or anything with even the slightest hint of that. No, and they're haired sheep. They're not wool sheep, so we should be good. I've got a hair sheep or got a wool sheep one time, I think a Hampshire, and it was probably a year and a half or so. And the chops were good and the ground was good, but it's one of those things where I think you and I were talking about this yesterday. When it's hot, it's awesome. And then once it cools and you pull it back out of the fridge, you can almost kind of smell
it's kind of almost like a wet sheep.
Yeah. The lanolin flavor is the smell of it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the true testament for a good barbecue is if you can eat it cold as leftovers, you did a good job.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, be it pulled pork, tri-tip, baby back ribs.
You ever mess around with spare ribs? I hate them.
They're cheap.
I hate them.
I don't hate them, but they're just it's like shooting dove or quail. It's a lot of work for not a lot of meat.
Yeah.
And I always tell my students this when we take them off the belly to make bacon. They're called spare ribs for a reason. They're just leftover.
It's a spare product.
Yeah, no one wants to bone them out for trim. They're just there.
Yeah.
It's a good, cheap way to get some kind of ribs if you don't want to pay the premium for some baby back.
Yeah, that's true. I know it's popular in the Midwest because
it's like having a spare tire on your truck. You're not planning on using it.
No, but if it's there, you're going to use it.
But you're going to
be pumped you got it.
Exactly. It's a simple byproduct.
What's some other weird cuts that are... Oh, hey, I got one for you. Somebody the other day was ranting and raving about Baja steaks from Spencer's.
Baja steaks.
And the way he described it to me, pretty sure it's a blade steak. He's like, these are my favorite steaks in the world. They're so tender. They look like a little mini kind of tri-tip thing. I'm like, oh, that's got to be a blade steak. Spencer's Baja steak. So I'm going to look into that. I figured you might know. I know Brandon would know.
Yeah, it's very familiar. If I'm not mistaken, it's either a top blade or a mock tender sliced into medallions.
Gotcha.
But
what's AI telling you?
It says it refers to beef flat meat, also called sirloin flat or bavette or bottom sirloin flat. So that's basically, the flat meat is going to be interlaced on that same prime when you're breaking off on the hind quarter where the flank and inside skirt are.
Oh.
So it's going to be a large coarse grain material of meat that's really good for carne, asada, fajitas, stir fry.
I wonder if that's that might not be Spencer's version of Baja steaks. That's not what he described to me.
The National Association of Meat Processors 185A referred to as flat meat.
Gotcha. And I'm gonna get my eyes on
very similar to skirt or flank.
Same guy was also saying, here's another one that might throw people off. Dude likes to grill O-bone roasts. Just like dinosaur steaks, right on the hot fire.
Okay, so it's funny you mentioned that. That doesn't sound all that bad. It's going to be from the Chuck Primal shoulder claw. As long as you slice it thin enough, I don't think it would be that bad.
That's what I would think.
Or is you got to monitor your thickness. I don't think I'd want it super well done.
Nor could I see it being very good on an older beef.
You're right.
I mean, you'd want a grain, either a grain fed or like a young, if you're into the grass fed, like a young grass fed one, which is hard to do, obviously.
Nothing wrong with an oboe roast going into the crock pot. But see, and it's a similar vibe and effect. Just this last week, I cut some of these, some people call it caveman steak or a Tom and Jerry steak. So it's basically a cross-section sliced of the entire hind quarter of the round.
Now that I'm all in on.
So I did that at about 1.5 inches thick, and it yields about a 6-pound roast.
Dudes like to make them like to cook them like steaks, though.
Yeah, I cut a couple for my dad for his birthday, and it's got that nice marrow bone round in the middle. You get a little bit of top round, some bottom round, some eye, and a sirloin tip in there. Good offering, but yeah, I don't know. I've never cooked one, so I don't know exactly how tender would be, but it'd be very similar if you were to get like bottom round steaks or top round steaks, like a London broil.
Jake and I have a 1,550-pound beef that was donated to us, hanging in the cooler in the shop that we're going to cut up on Monday or tomorrow, actually. Yeah. Could you imagine the caveman steaks off that hog?
Oh my god,
it'd be 30 inches wide.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a dinner that feeds a family of four to six.
Yeah, I know the bandsaw's got enough height for that.
Yeah, we can do it.
It's a big dog. Yeah, I'm gonna get steak. Speaking of meat, that one we got, that's a 10-year-old steer, and I am 100% getting steaks off that thing. I'm not scared a bit.
No, what worst case, you just cut them thinner if they're really not that tender.
Exactly.
Make a bunch of sear steaks.
And like Jake said, as we're cutting it off, we can pull one off, go cook it, see what it's like, and determine from there. It's hanging in halves, so we haven't even got eyes on this ribeye yet, but I am so excited to see it. I am so excited to see it. It should go high prime, easy. But it's old. I mean, obviously old.
Yeah, technically it
wouldn't qualify.
Prime grade, but however, it's going to have marbling.
Yeah.
It's going to be a high quality.
I like the ground on those old ones a lot.
I do too, but you got to definitely monitor all the fat you're putting in.
That's going to be one we're going to be trimming the trim. We're going to be trimming fat off of our grind.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have, if you don't throw anything away, you're going to have some tallow in there.
Yeah. Like, what would you have any problems making tallow out of 10-year-old beef? I mean,
I don't see why not. You probably have to do it another round just to make sure it's clarified properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you can do cooking or cosmetic tallow out of it, no problem.
Because I mean, a lot of that outside fat's real old fat. I'm sure there's going to be some hard fat on the inside.
Well, and I was looking at it the other day, and honestly, what's kind of strange is this older fat is very soft, even when refrigerated. It does not set up like a young steer would.
You know what?
Even in the brisket area, it's still got some bounce to it.
I was at Ranchita the other day, and they were cutting up like a 6 or 7 year old. It was a Free Martin Wagyu Angus. So it was a heifer. It never had a calf. Grotesquely fat, high prime, if it qualified. And Garrett said it never set up. He said cutting it. Even even the steaks were floppy, freezing cold. And I think it's just how that fat just gets so soft.
Yeah, it's almost like feeding a pig dairy product and you get that smooth, creamy butter fat.
The stuff that renders in the sunlight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. It just liquefies.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that that same characteristic transfers over to the lean muscle tissue. Because, if the steak's floppy as well, I mean, I would think at refrigerated temp, that's just a sign of tenderness.
Exactly. It's like when we go to split one, like when you run your knife through a hot one, right? Like if you run your knife to quarter one through a hot one and it's lean, you can feel it. You can feel the tension, right? You can feel everything. You run your knife through a fat one, it's just like, ooh, that one's gonna be tender.
Right.
You can tell hot.
It's almost like testing the blade for sharpness.
Yeah.
The level of resistance it takes to actually go through that ribeye.
That could be a whole nother podcast, you know, keeping knives sharp.
Yeah, we'll have to dive into them.
I bet not a lot of people have sharp knives.
Did you get any new gear for this hunting season?
I did. Actually, per your recommendation, I got some Zulu binoculars, image stabilizing binoculars. Kind of a fear buy slash I hunt every day of deer season. Slash,
why fear?
I'm just
Fear of missing out.
FOMO is always FOMO's so real. FOMO's so real, but no fear of like
price shock.
Them
that's what my fear has been.
Like if California ever makes them illegal, like I still want them to go check my cows. Like I still want them to go, like, you know what I mean? If California ever decides to make the electronic binoculars illegal for hunting, like I still want them. So I don't want to.
It's very pleasant for bird watching.
They're great for bird watching. Yeah, I'll have those suckers out looking at all sorts of woodpeckers and bald eagles.
But you had to go check them out in person before pulling the trigger, right?
No,
sight unseen.
Sight unseen. I did it per your recommendation. Did it.
Based off my word alone, for about 5 minutes of handling, you bought some sick.
That's right, dude.
And you went with what the 12 by 42.
That's right.
Yeah,
and I
hefty price tag even with a discount.
And I never regretted it for a second. The second I got those things and flipped them on, my whole hunting life changed. And now I know why you see everyone's got them strapped up now. I saw some reviews online that were bad. I think mine broke within the first 6 months. Like, don't buy these are crap. I understand that. Yeah.
It's a complicated system.
It's a gimbal, right?
There's a lot to go wrong in there.
No doubt.
Delicate electronics.
No doubt.
I wonder if those are from people that genuinely had a problem, or if they're people that treat their stuff like crap.
That or competition. You never know. Dude. You just never know. I'll tell you what. I'll take the risk. I'll take the risk of those things breaking, having to deal with customer service, maybe even having.
The thing is, I would just like to think that Sig would have some customer service.
Yeah, you know what? I'll go even farther. If Sig's customer service is crap, I'm still buying those, because the difference it makes is it's cheating. It is virtually cheating.
Aside from the stabilization, though, what do you think of Sig's black?
With the type of binos that I was running already. I wasn't running Swarovskis or high-end Leupolds or even nice Nikons. I was running C-series Mavens. I was running Nikon Monarchs. The how much they get used and abused, and then how light I want them. I couldn't really, not being a wealthy man, I couldn't afford high-end glass. So comparatively, for me, it's awesome. If someone comes off a pair of, I don't know, Swarovskis or something, maybe someone like that could have a complaint about it. But no complaints here. The only thing I would say is when you're in close and you're sub 150, the 12s are kind of powerful. Your field of view is not. I mean, you're really
dense timber, road close.
I'd go tens. Yeah.
Or the tight drainage is like you have here.
Yeah. And dude, they're when I got them, the way they look and the shape of them and everything, and the way the eye thing is,
look funky, but it feels natural.
Oh man, after
offset.
Dude, it feels great. And for a one-hand unit, being that the front unit is it's like a single piece in the shape that it is.
That's my problem with traditional binos. I can just never hold them steady enough, and I really don't want to pack a tripod for a set of binos. I feel like if I'm going to pack a tripod, I'm going to have a huge spotter.
Yeah, and then you got to think about the time it takes to stop and set up a tripod just to glass a little bit. Your time is your best asset while hunting.
I mean, best case scenario, at least while archery hunting, I'm setting my binos on top of my cam. Setting it on the ground or on my knee, trying to get stable that way.
Yeah.
But if I see a deer and I'm trying to figure out, how big it is, I'm already excited enough. That's going to add to the shakes.
Dude, exactly. And this year, we would be hunting 3 guys in the truck, driving around the big ranch. And I would say 3 to 1, I was spotting deer that these guys weren't seeing. And I'm not promoting this, and I'm not saying that you should do this. And depending on the laws in your state, you might not be able to do this, but obviously you shouldn't shoot from the vehicle ever. But when you're driving down the road, you can look through those binoculars while someone's driving. So you can be in the passenger seat glassing while someone's moving. If you get motion sick, you might get motion sickness. I actually know people that don't run these binoculars because of motion sickness. Maybe they just can't afford them and that's their excuse. But
I don't know.
they say they get motion sickness easy, so it messes with them. But you can be moving on a bumpy road, and those things will stabilize enough. They also have a secondary mode that's like, it's not a scan mode, but it's extra stabilized. So if you're just locked on one thing, you switch on, switch off, switch on again, and it goes to like super stabilization mode. But yeah, I mean, I got him on the black. I think I got him on a sale at some point, so that's where I justified getting him. I think I got him sub 1,000 if I remember. And yeah, I would do it again. Absolutely do it again.
How are you carrying them?
So I had my Alaska Guide Creations. I had my C-Series Mavens in there, and those were 12 by 50s. So that's a pretty big bino case. Those things, I would say, don't fit perfect because they're taller, longer.
Yeah.
So my hood kind of stretches over them. Besides that, I don't know. I could spend some time probably finding the right bino case for it. Probably be a simple online search, probably forum. All over the forums, it's probably guys talking about what they fit best in.
I'm
what
pretty
they're
sure
using.
if you get a marsupial medium or large, probably a large, though, if they have the whole sizing guide chart, whatever binos they fit, I'm pretty sure the Zulu 6 is on the list.
I would, if I were to reorder, I would try to go that route because the mediums you gave me for my Nikon Monarchs are sick. Those things are perfect. But I tried the Zulus and the mediums, no chance.
That's the only way I would justify buying the Zulus if I got another glass pack marsupial front pouch to hold them. But that's another 120 on top of 1,000, which is fine. But I'd have to get it as a package deal. I don't think I could trust myself just to carry those around without damaging them. It'd be an investment just to protect them.
Yeah, I know. That's why I like putting them in the Alaska Guide Creation pack. That thing's just a unit. That pack's just padded well. Got pockets on every side. You're not so concerned about it. But
you also got a Tricer bipod, right?
I did. I got a Tricer bipod, and then I got the lightweight
How's
handhead.
that working now?
Yes, great. But then again, I'm coming from being a poor guy. So the last one I had was like an Amazon special or something, like a Pro Paul or something, right?
Yeah.
And so
I've only used the Magpul or the Harris before.
the upgrade that upgrade, insane, awesome. The panhead is legit. I like the one-hand operation with that little knob. Just the one-hand knob. With how much I'm not going out of state hunting, sitting down glassing for 6-7 hours at a time. I'm not throwing a pad. I'm not stuck to the ground somewhere. We're always moving, so it lives in my Kafaru pack most of the time. If we see something far out, pull it out, set it up, fast setup, lightweight, everything I needed to do. It does. It's perfect.
That bipod's pretty lightweight, but it also has those giant spikes on the feet. How are those? Do you find yourself like bumping into stuff that you don't want to scratch or mess up, like
the bipod?
In and out of the truck or a case or anything like that?
No, not yet. I would just say that bipod's a little big for that Kimber, Montana. So
does it add too much weight on the flooring, even though it's carded?
You can feel it, but I wouldn't say too much. No, but you can feel it.
Still shoot off and confidently.
Oh, for sure. The nice part was, I mean, the deer I shot this year that was bedded down at 150 that I shot in the neck felt so easy. I mean, that's just a fast bipod system. Very.
Because I noticed, I only got to handle it for a few minutes, but you have the versatility of it's got a lot of length adjustment.
Yeah, that thing's long. So that deer I shot we were sitting on a 45-degree hill feet down. So I almost had to go all the way out with that thing. Anything shorter, I don't think I could have gotten away with, just because I'm sitting on a side hill. Everything's so far below, like the contact point of my bipods is so far below me that I had to send them almost all the way out. The only thing is that mounting plate that they send with it that attaches to a sling. Yes, it's that style. It's a pretty long plate with one contact point, and it bent at some point. So mine's got a slight bend in it. I'm sure I could take it to the press and just press it back down and be a little more careful with it. That bipod took a drop this year, open, fully extended. That's what did it. And I'm amazed that nothing else broke. The carbon legs held up to that drop and the plate bent. So, testament to the carbon legs, probably could go with a different style of mounting. Yeah.
They have different options for mounting?
That's the hard part. You're getting into like actually putting on a pick on your bottom of your gun or something like that, right? So you got to go, yeah. And then someone who's probably knows what they're doing so they could bet it. And yeah. But yeah, it's my blacktail gun. Serves its purpose. It's it's quite an upgrade. I was always fumbling around with carrying sticks and trying to get rests, and it's just another cheat code. I mean, you just pop those suckers down and send it.
What about the rifle you got recently for work?
Oh yeah.
You like that picture I sent you?
Yeah, that was crazy. That makes sense. That thing's got some pop. I got a Ruger American 5.56, the ranch model, which is a 16-inch barrel, bolt action with magazine.
Is that a bull barrel is it threaded?
Yeah, bull barrel threaded. It's awesome for what we're doing, because when we're knocking down bulls at work or like old cows at work, there's often either a follow-up shot or it's a far shot, and it takes a PMAG magazine like any standard AR would. So you got 10 rounds, which is nice and comforting. The only thing is that short barrel pops, man. It is loud.
It's a thumper.
And Jake took a picture of us knocking a bull down yesterday.
I got that in a video, luckily.
And the fireball this thing spits
it's like a snub-nosed 357 mag fireball.
Might as well be. It is insane. So not a close to town gun if we're doing something like a bull in town or something like that.
A ranch rifle.
It is a ranch rifle, man. And you're not shooting that thing more than once without ear pro on. At least you're not doing it safely.
It worked just fine on that young bull.
Yeah.
What ammo are you using with that?
Right now I just have the Winchester white box, the bulk from Big Five. They sell like 150 pack of solid.
Soft point?
It's solid point lead core.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because all of this stuff is disposed
like
of.
A 55 grain.
I think it is. Yeah, it's 55 grain. 55 grain FMJ Winchester. I think they want to call it Super X.
Yeah,
just like
white box.
Yeah, just like they call their shotgun shells and stuff.
Yeah.
But. Oh, baby mountain lion. No, that's just a good house cat.
That's a small guy. Not gonna hang out on the road too long.
No, it's not. And then the cool thing, the thing I'm excited about that gun is just mostly a tool. I mean, it's not an expensive gun to go brag and show off, but it's got the
like rubberized texture on it.
No,
is it plastic?
It's plastic.
The way the forend it's got like that texture on it.
Super comfortable.
It looks almost like a hope stock, but it's kind of got that super soft over molded rubber.
Yeah, it does look like that.
But
it's
if
not
it's
that
plastic,
soft.
that's nice because it also is going to wipe clean. That rubber tends to hold dirt really well, like to the point where it's very hard to clean.
And any synthetics like a tape or anything, if you ever mess with that on those things, will eat it away.
Yep.
So it's like I said, budget gun works for what we're doing. The cool,
not gonna feel bad about it.
Exactly. I love the 2x7, the Leupold 2x7.
Yeah, I was looking at them last night. They seem to be like a solid, good budget scope. You don't have to worry about, but it's
for what we're doing. A 3x9 is just too much because some of these shots we're taking are super close. So, I mean, it's the way to go for. If you're going to have to be shooting 10 to 50 yards, 10 to 100 yards.
For the price, because, you could do the same thing with a 1x4 or 1x6.
1x6, yeah.
But you're spending, what, 7, 8 times the price?
I know.
I think I looked at one last night. It was like $2,000. It's like,
Oh.
I'm not gonna do that for a work gun.
And it's getting bloody, and it's gonna fall in the mud, and it's gonna.
Water,
I mean,
all kinds of stuff.
That's one product.
Knocked around with the pickup on bumpy
roads. That is one area of my gear that I won't stray off brand. I'll buy Leupold everything. Yeah. I'll buy the cheapest Leupold before I buy a Vortex or something.
On the same note though, as long as you're spending money on a decent quality optic, you can't skimp on rings. It's what holds that high quality glass to your platform.
Yeah.
It'd be like you're buying, a Corvette you're planning to go 200 miles an hour on and buying the cheapest tires possible.
Exactly.
You're just asking for trouble.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when you're buying a good optic, always buy quality rings and make sure you set it up properly.
Check the torque specs. Get a level. It's all cheap. None of this stuff's expensive.
There's a lot of YouTube tutorials on how to do it.
Yeah.
And then just verify on the ring before you actually try to shoot an animal with it.
Sight it in on. You don't even need a bore sighter. You can sight it in on paper, looking down the barrel in your house. Go put a piece of paper on the wall, draw a dot on it, look down the barrel.
Box or a full box of ammo. You'll thank yourself later.
And take your first shot at 25 yards. Right. You should be pretty
on paper. Yeah.
You should be on paper at 25. It's gonna be way off, but you'll be on paper, and then take it back to 100. Go from there. I like there's so much glass on a Leupold scope that when you're looking in it, there's not a lot of rim. There's not a lot of black rim. And so you get a lot of light and you get a big picture. So almost where you're looking at only glass. I'm sure if I went, up to the highest level of like a Vortex, it's probably a similar experience, but for what I can afford, a cheap Vortex versus a cheap Leupold, it's not even close. I mean, you got a damn near 1/4 inch of black around some of those cheaper Vortex scopes that I've had.
Right.
And like I said, I'm not trying to, but I'm sure there's great ones, and I'm sure the more expensive ones are awesome, but I can't afford the more expensive ones. I can afford a $300 Leupold and have a, awesome sight picture. So the 2x7, I might even switch the 22 mag over to, because right now the 3x9 on the 22 mag close-up digs, you're just seeing all hair and hide. So
yeah, that can be asking for issues if you're not completely focused. And I'm not saying this is going to happen, and I don't wish this into existence, but having similar platforms as close as possible, just varying caliber, I think is perfect for work. But where you're at right now, you're having to adjust your point of aim between the two different platforms. And I think that could be problematic if you're not 100% paying attention and thinking actively about it.
Oh, for sure.
If you're running on autopilot and you are shooting a bolt and you're doing your hold with your 22 mag versus when
I'll
you
be
have the
3 inches low.
Yeah, that's just going to ask for some problems.
Yeah, no, and that's the exact issue we were running into before, because I'd go grab a bull gun and I'd grab, my wife's Safe Queen, which is a 243, and that's sighted into a different zero than my open sight 30-30 that we would sometimes run. So you're totally right. I mean, having something zeroed to the same with the same scope on it and having the same drop at distance is like
just the feel. I mean, that way you don't have to think about it. It's just going to be grab and go.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I feel like if you have to think about it, you might get in your head on your dome and then just set yourself up for failure.
Oh, for sure. And that's, one miss and you got the yes.
Yep.
That's all it takes. I mean, it's just one missed shot, and your next 5, you're nervous as hell. And it happens. I mean, I went 3, 4, 5 years there with no incidents, right? Last week, 1 miss on a bull, or 1 miss on a big steer. Steer got out after the miss, 3-day ordeal. Now 5 years of confidence almost erased, right? So then the next 3 or 4, I'm thinking, I gotta get these
Even
good.
Though your miss was probably the best place possible to miss.
Oh, 100%. No damage. No problems. Ended up going back and getting it. Yeah, not from negligence, just from, a little steer moves his head at the last minute, aiming a little high on a harder shot with a crazy steer. It happens. Nothing's controlled. But yeah, no, your point is probably, I would say to any new butcher, you're shooting a platform. Get it right.
Or even a hunter. You're going from squirrels to some larger game or something like that. You probably want
something similar that you're comfortable with at least. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just being comfortable with your setup.
Yeah.
I mean, be it a rifle, a shotgun, or a bow, like you want to be 100% confident going into whatever you're trying to down.
Yeah, yeah. And I might even switch because I don't want to. I mean, I inherited that 22 mag from my grandpa in the state it's in with that scope on it. Everything's the same. I don't really want to switch, you know, so it might just be an excuse to buy a work 22 mag and put grandpa's gun up in the safe. Just nostalgic at this point
because I keep that being a squirrel gun that's going to be lighter duty.
Yeah, exactly. And leave the 3x9 on it. 3x9 for squirrels, perfect way to go. I would probably get the same gun Jake has, the Bergara, and just save some money with the steel barrel instead of the carbon barrel, and just eat a little more weight. But yeah, we'll see. The 2x7, I wouldn't mess with it for hunting unless you're shooting squirrels or raccoons or something. It'd be a sweet raccoon scope. But yeah, for everything else close range, it's sweet.
Well, we're going up to another job here, so we're going to have to sign off on this.
That was a good little pod, short one, but meaningful. I feel like we got some good stuff in there.
This podcast is brought to you by Killshot Coffee. Coupon code JD10 off here.
So just keep that in mind and stay sharp, stay educated. We'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.